And it goes a little something like this.
Drop.
Hello?
Hello.
Yes?
Hey, Tiffany.
Hi. Rachel?
Yes,
Hi there. How are you?
I am good. How are you?
I'm good. I'm good.
I don't know how I got into this live, but I am so glad that Brad has been found out for what he is. I told you in an email that I really did not want to get involved in all this, but I have a friend that keeps up with this on YouTube, and she has kept me kind of in the loop as to what's going on. And he has got such a history of lies and deceit. And we were married for seven years, I believe. And he just makes me sick every time I see something about him on YouTube, about him having cancer and collecting money. And he is such a crook and a con artist that it amazes me at how people don't research people they give money to.
Right. I agree.
He has, I could write a book. He's probably lying about leukemia. I don't know because I haven't seen him in a long time. But during the course of our marriage, I mean, he lied to everybody. He even lied about his own son having cancer to run from bill collectors. And he's killed his dad off 3 times. He lives with his dad right now in a home that's so hoarded up with junk that you can't even go through the house. He's such a con man, and you can't believe anything that he says, anything.
Rachel, I appreciate you coming up here and speaking. I didn't think that we were going to talk. I didn't think that, we were going to have any kind of communication after, because I didn't want to bother you or anything like that. When we had spoken early on, Rachel had reached out to me, and she had said that, she has some information, and that, this is a way of life for Ace, and that this is what, how he gets by, basically. Like, this is not a new thing. This is something you would probably expect from him. Is that correct?
Yeah. I mean, I don't think the man has a conscience, and he could just come off with it. It just amazes me at how someone can just continually lie the way that he does. I mean, he stole money from Steve Grindstaff when he worked at Grindstaff. And I don't even know. No, he didn't steal money. He stole, I think it was stereos. He was a sales manager there for a while. And his mom and dad paid that off to keep him from getting in trouble. I told him I didn't want to know anything about it. But wow. if you want to research him, you can talk to Mike Collins. He used to be a sales manager at Chaparral. You can talk to Steve Grindstaff. I'm sure it's not undisclosed information. The list just goes on and on and on and on. He was in bankruptcy court. He's been in bankruptcy twice that I know of. He still owes me.
He's threatening to sue me. He's threatening to sue me for...
What's he going to sue you with? He has no money. He lives in his mommy's den. He doesn't even have a business. He's such a liar and a con artist. Let him sue me. Let him come after me. I wish he would. He still owes me money that I just let go. He racked up my credit cards before we got divorced. He cost me about $15,000 to $20,000.
Yeah, this sounds probably normal for someone like him. He actually, have you been following the billboard stuff?
I try. No, I have not. I am a full-time hairdresser. I do not have time to devote to, watching all of that. But I do have a friend that keeps up with it. I know that he has scammed a lot of people.
does she know anything about the upcoming cases? She's like, how long have you been divorced from him? A long time?
Yeah, we've been divorced since 2007, but he
Oh,
married
wow.
another girl after me. And when this first came, when I reached out to you, I reached out to her and I told her, I said, we've got to do something. We've got to
Yeah.
bring a lot of this to the light. And
I
she's like,
remember when you emailed me. Yeah.
yeah, because it just made me sick to my stomach. I talked to his son and asked him, if he knew anything going on. And because, I was afraid he'd drag him into it. And he said no, that Brad had asked him to use his PayPal account to intercept some money, but he doesn't have much to do with Brad because they all know
Well,
how
it's
he is.
interesting. He accused me of, what did he say? I sent someone to his son's house. He had this crazy story about that I was harassing his son. I mean, the lies that have come out of Chase and anybody involved with him, I've had enough. I've really had enough. At this point, we're going on now months. This guy told me Summer was alive in Indiana, that she was safe, that law enforcement had eyes on her, all of these crazy stories that he's told.
But if that were the truth, though, Tiffany, if it were true, why would he need to put these billboards up? I mean, if you just think about it.
That's my point. And that was our point back when this all came out. That was the whole point of everything we were trying to say. If Summer is alive and safe and well in Indiana, then why would you need to put billboards up? That doesn't make any sense.
But yet he continues to weasel his way out of it. It's like people just ignore what comes out of his mouth. And that's like Cam and Allie. I have spoken with them on Facebook Messenger. And if you're so investigative, why are you letting a con man con you?
Right.
And I don't know these people, and I'm not discrediting anything they say, but it's public record. Google him, and his record will come up. I ran into a cousin
we've
of his.
seen the record. We've definitely seen the record. And do you know what the theft was from between $60,000 and $80,000? Do you know anything about that?
No.
There's a theft charge, and it says between 60. I think it said between 60 and 80,000.
Well, hearsay is I did run into his cousin the other day, and he said that Brad had went into someone's house and stolen a ring, and then turned around and tried to pawn it. It was like a $25,000 ring, and he went to jail, and his mom bailed him out. His mom and dad bailed him out of everything. I mean, they're pretty much broke over him.
Wow.
And yet he still continues to, he doesn't have a reputable business. You can drive by his house. It's 105 Kaiser Circle. You can look and see all the junked up cars in the yard. That's his supposed business. His business is conning people and making people feel sorry for him. And
this is a way of life for him.
Yes.
This is how he gets by.
Yes.
Ziggy wants to know, do you know if he has any substance abuse issues?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. And that was one of the main reasons for our divorce. Number one, he couldn't keep a job. And number two, he had a drug problem.
Do you know what kind of drugs?
Yes. He was using Lortabs and benzos.
Okay. All right. I'm just trying to understand what his malfunction is,
Who the hell knows? The man doesn't have a conscience.
Well, clearly there's a problem here with him. He's now run from YouTube. He's behind the scenes. He's in, certain creators' ears and having people do whatever he needs, right? Because unless he needs something, he's got to have a purpose for you. So this guy has brought so many people into this. It's not even funny. The people that have been scammed is unbelievable. And a lot of these people, I believe, are extremely scared to even speak. Please don't ask Rachel where she's from or anything like that, guys. I don't want her information in my chat or for her to, please don't ask. Sorry.
Oh, I don't care. I didn't hide under any name when I came on. My
Well,
name is,
I know, but
yeah.
I just don't, I don't want you to protect your privacy as much as possible. So what made you decide to come up here tonight? And thank you for coming and joining the panel. What have you been thinking as you've been watching this?
It literally makes me sick to my stomach. A friend of mine, like I said, has been keeping up with it. She lives in Bulls Gap, which is in the back door of, Summer Wells. And I'm not a news watcher. I literally work all the time. I don't have time to watch the news. It's just depressing. But I have heard about, what's going on with Summer Wells. I did watch the Dr. Phil show. I have a friend who worked at the salon where Candace got her hair done before the Dr. Phil show. I know a lot of back stuff about this. And she had sent me a message today, and she was saying they have found out about Brad. And and I said, well, good. I don't understand how people can just hand over so much money to someone that they don't know when there's so many other avenues. But I had looked at a video of him and just his mannerisms and him like the cancer video about how, you're not alone. And I would like to have $1 for every time he says, and that right there should put up red flags. The fact that he repeats himself repetitively. Right. If you repeat yourself 2 or 3 times, you're lying.
Oh my God, it must have been torture for you with the lies and the talking in circles. You must have wanted to bang your head against a wall, I would imagine.
Reach in and grab him and slap the total shit out of him. Is what I wanted to do. He won't mess with me. He knows better. He still owes me money. So, and he stole from my son, who was 16 at the time. It's just, it makes me sick to my stomach. I know his son. I know his family. Just the disgrace that he is to humanity at this point. How can you make money off the disappearance of a 5-year-old child and lay down and sleep at night? But he can, because he's a master at it.
Like he has no conscience, or maybe he's addicted to, scamming, walking through life, just scamming people. I don't know.
He has his CDLs unless he lost them. That was the job he took after we divorced. He drove a truck, and I'm sure that he got strung out on dope and ended up, losing that job. But the man can't keep a job. He literally has to go from job to job to job to job to job. And I'll give you just a for instance. He went and worked in Fort Payne, Alabama while we were married. And it was the last ditch effort on my part for our marriage. We were in debt. He would run to these quick cash places, and he would take a loan from this one and a loan from that one. And he would have the address changed to his mom's address, so I would never see a bill.
Okay.
So he moved to Fort Payne, Alabama. He was a car salesman. And he's a great car salesman because he's a liar. So he had the guys down there believing that he was going to open his own car lot. He is such a pathological liar that these guys were willing to quit their job there and go to work for him at a place that didn't even exist because he talked himself up.
Listen, I'm apologize. So I do not, Rachel, just a second. I do not want the name Lizzie in my chat, and anybody who writes her full YouTube channel name, I'm going to just block you for the stream. So that's just a fair warning. My mods, if you see her name written in my chat, please block. Thank you. Okay? I'm not dealing with it. Okay? And nobody's going to threaten me to get off my live. I don't think so. Okay? I don't think so. That's not how this is going to work. That's not how this is going to go. This is my channel. This is my stream. I've been dealing with this for months. Okay? I'm over it. If this woman wants a link here, she can have one. I don't deny links to people. Do not write her name in my chat, please. These people are literally slugs.
Are they defending him?
Yes.
Are you kidding me?
Yeah, he's latched on to several. It's bad. And yeah, it's gross.
So my friend had told me to reach out to you. She said, if you want someone to know, you need to get a hold of Tiffany. And that's one reason why I commented the very first time was, because I don't know much about YouTube. I'm not a big social media person at all, but I knew this was going on. And how I got on this live, I don't know. I was just I was watching AB, I think, whoever that is.
AB, I'm going to drop his link in my chat right now. If you're not subbed to AB, you guys, make sure you do. He's been covering summer with me since the very beginning, like literally 18 hours. So I think it was probably like 18 hours in. So he's been a huge help for summer. And not to mention only just that, he helped a great deal when all of this happened. And if it wasn't for AB, I don't really know how I would have dealt with this. So a lot of respect for AB and all that he did to help and alerting the community and letting people know what was going on. He really, he knew something was wrong. There's his link, sub up. He knew something was wrong and, he spoke on it. He was met with a lot of pushback, but it's worth it. It was necessary. People do deserve to know. And those, they're all of our subscribers, the community subscribers. And, it's really important that the public is alerted of these things when they happen. And, it's interesting, oddly enough, people knew that this was going on. They decided, instead of taking the information in, researching for themselves, trying to get to the bottom of it, they decided to attack those who were, talking about it, bringing it into the public eye so that others could protect themselves financially. And now all of a sudden, it's like none of that ever happened. And now people are starting to come to their senses. I find that to be extremely hilarious.
Well,
because
I've always said
for weeks drilling it in and nobody wanted to listen. But now all of a sudden, does he have cancer? I can't speak on that. I don't know. I do know all he told me was that he had leukemia in his past and that he was in remission. Rachel, do you know anything about that?
I do not. He has lied about having testicular cancer. He has lied about his son having cancer. When I had a hysterectomy back when I was 31, he lied to the guys that he worked with and told them that I had cancer. I got the prettiest 24 roses from Steve Grindstaff. That's where he worked. I wouldn't have known anything about it other than the fact that my neighbor came over to my house to check on me while I was off work and wanted to know how I was doing. And I said, well, I'm doing good. I'm recovering. And he said, well, how are your treatments going? And I said, I've never had, I'm not being treated for anything. I had a hysterectomy. And he's like, oh, well, he got his car serviced up there at Grindstaff. And that's when Brad worked there. And he said, well, he's told everybody that you had cancer. So, I've been a victim of it. And, you know, it's been like that as long as I've known the man. You can talk to his old co-workers at Walmart where he worked. Just, I couldn't believe anything that come out of his mouth.
Oh my God. I literally believed that he was in remission for leukemia. I didn't, and I honestly, I've said this multiple times, that this goes with the grift. That all of a sudden having leukemia, his leukemia came back, he said. This was literally several weeks after he told me he didn't need to go back again. He didn't need to go back to the doctor, I think he said, for like 2 years or something. And then all of a sudden, we call him out on a couple things, and he's got leukemia and he's gone and whatever. And that's why I said, this is textbook scamming 101.
But here's the thing. People give him way too much credit. He doesn't know anything. He lives in Sulphur Springs. He's not even close to where Summer was at. How does he get involved? How is he the closest one? You know, he's just trying to insert himself into this situation so he is the topic of conversation. He feeds off of that.
I think maybe it's like, you know, some people want attention. Does he
Yes.
want, like, does he need to be wanted or like praised? Is he that way?
Yeah, I would think so. I mean, his parents know what he is. Everybody knows what he is. It's just not discussed in his family. They know he's a liar. They know that he's a con. They know it. It's just not discussed. It's kind of like the, you know, the swept under the rug, and there you go. But the fact that people give him money, that's what I don't understand at all.
Do you know a woman by the name of Anita Baker? Is that the name? Barker? And what's the name again? Downtown Julie Brown? Or, I'm sorry, I think I got her name wrong. Downtown Julie Brown. Isn't that a song? Do you know someone by the name of Anita Baker or Barker?
Not off the top of my head.
Barker, Anita Barker. Okay, that name came up last night with the man from the billboard company. Also, did you say he has a CDL?
He does. He used to.
Is he a
used to
truck
drive for
driver?
Heights. Well, I don't remember the name of the company that he drove for, but he does have a CDL.
Was he? Oh, so he drove for Hunt's Ketchup, like Hunt's? Or is it Hunt's a trucking company? I don't know much about trucking.
Who knows? I mean, he's probably driven for every place that would hire him. He's had so many jobs. He can't keep a job.
Well, he was wearing a DirecTV jacket in the last video that I saw of him. Oh, JB Hunt. Okay, is that paper? Isn't that a paper supply? I don't know. Either way, okay, it's a trucking company.
Yeah. I don't know. I mean, I don't know what he's done. Like I said, we've been divorced since 2007. So
How long? Oh, so this was a long time ago that he was a trucker.
yes, he does have a CDL. Unless he's lost it.
Unless he's lost it. Okay. Killer B, I reported the phone call to authorities, the one that I had where he told me that Summer was alive and well in Indiana. I did do that. I called the Hawkins County Sheriff's Office, and I did hand over the entire call in its entirety. It was never, chopped or anything like that. Valerie, thank you so much. It passed right by me. I apologize, Tiffany. I know he started a channel before Summer went missing, and he did a video around where Don was working. But does anyone know how he was introduced to us? Me, Valerie. Unfortunately. Thank you for your super chat. He posted up the video well, I posted up the video, are we missing something in Jonesboro? And Chase posted up a video of the Meadows right after. So directly after that is when he made his video. And yeah, I introduced him to the community. Great.
Well, Tiffany, thank you for having me. And
You're very
please
welcome.
just keep up the investigative work. Maybe this will let him see that, people are going to come forward with what they know about him so he could quit scamming people, and maybe, they will stop giving him money.
Yeah. Well, Rachel, unfortunately, I think that this is probably, a trend for him, and maybe he might be a little addicted to it.
Oh, sure.
It probably isn't going to change. I wouldn't imagine anytime soon, unfortunately. I never would have thought that like this billboard thing is so off the chain, and it's sickening. It's truly sickening. Thank you for coming up, and I appreciate you coming up. And I know that some people might frown upon it, but I don't deny links here. She wanted a link. She can have a link. There's no reason why she shouldn't be able to speak on this. She personally knows this person, and, I think we should be welcoming of Rachel. And, I know that people will be here. There's going to be people who don't like this very much, but
Sure.
It is what it is. This man collected funds for a billboard that was supposed to be up for 2 months, then relocated to a different area, and it was never followed through with. The billboard was removed, blamed on me, saying that I attacked a church when I never did. It's crazy stuff, right? So you just blame this one, blame that one, and then everything falls right into place for them while you take all the heat, and you have to deal with the repercussions of something you didn't even do.
No,
And
you're just
meanwhile-
trying to find out the bottom of the story. I mean, you're just
Right.
trying to find out the truth.
Glitter Queen wants to know if I could ask you if he has ever worked in like construction, drywalling, anything like that, painting, electric.
Not that I know of.
Okay.
But
Good.
I mean, he could have done a lot of things between now and then. If it's something that he sees he can get monetary gain, I'm sure he'll try anything.
Mm-hmm.
But people just need to do their research. They need to Google him and see. It's public record.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. It is public record. And you guys, we're not dealing with just like, this isn't a YouTube drama. This is this is about Summer. Okay. And like, I've been saying this since the very beginning of this situation. This is only about Summer. This billboard was supposed to be up still. The electronic billboard was still supposed to be up. Okay. Whether he pushed this stuff onto the other woman or whatever, I don't know, Christy, but something is clearly wrong. Now we have Rachel up here who's discussing all of this with us and what her experience when she was married to this man. So clearly she knows a little bit about what's going on, and this has been a pattern for him over the years. So I appreciate it. Emergency Me just sent a super chat. Thank you, hon. And she said, Rachel, thank you so much.
All right. Well, just keep on the search, and if anything, people should be angry with Chase or Brad or whatever he's calling himself, that if the billboard's not up and he received money for it, then he's hindering the search. He is hindering any type of help that he could provide. So they need to keep that in mind.
Yeah.
He's talking out both sides of his mouth.
Well, now he's got another woman who stepped in, and he's not taking funds anymore. I believe many people have called him out, and now we're on, a different track with another person. This woman, I don't know what her intentions are. I don't personally trust her. It feels like she came in to do some cleanup for him. That's just the way I feel about it. I don't like some of the things that have happened, but it's not Chase that's collecting money anymore. We've got a woman who's generously donating from the goodness of her heart to put up billboards all around. So.
But wouldn't you get in touch with the TBI, or wouldn't you get in touch with some credible business to donate money to put up these billboards?
Well, I guess, this woman decided she was going to go half with him. She put in 4,000. Allegedly, he put in 4,000. Now, I don't know if that was from other people's pockets on YouTube or where it came from. I really don't. But Christy has been the one helping. And now, from what I understand, she's disconnected herself from him, but I don't know if that's true. And I don't trust it. So.
Well, I've always said you can't fix stupid. You can fix a lot of things. But you can't fix
I just think that it was underestimated. I think that people thought that, we were all a bunch of stupid people. It's not really good to run scams in a crime community.
No.
Somebody's going to catch you, right?
Yes. I mean, the truth will stand when the world's on fire.
Yeah.
And, just do good, be good, and try to do the best you can. But don't try to scam people, especially in this situation. It's wrong, and it will come back to you. It will. So I have done my part, and you know how to get a hold of me if you need to. And
I don't want to bother you. After our last communication, I think it was like almost a month ago now, I didn't want to bother you, and I didn't want to, pressure you when we had exchanged like several emails, and you said, you know what, I think I'm going to, you remember I said, why don't you take some time, think about it. I didn't want you to rush into something like if you weren't really prepared. It's kind of a big deal, and I wasn't sure what might fall back on you. So I'm glad that you did choose to speak out and share a little bit. I think it'll be helpful for those who might still have trust in him. There are people who have grown attached to him. Whether I like those people or not is a non-factor. I think that everyone needs to know, and it shouldn't be hidden or covered up. This person, Chase, he fucked with Summer.
Well, yes, you're right. He, in one way or another, if he's hindered anything, he has stopped some progress that could have been made. And that's the most important thing, is finding the child, not his monetary gain, which apparently it's turned into he's, getting money from the sympathy of people. And it's wrong. And hopefully,
I think that the money is stopped. Don't take my word for it, but I think that the money aspect of this has kind of come to a screeching halt for him. He's already done his wheeling and dealing, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, he'll move on to something else. But thank you again.
You're very welcome.
I've got a long day tomorrow, so I'm going to hit the hay. But hopefully, if anybody has, any reservations about him, then they'll know. They'll know now.
Thank you very much. You've done a great service to those who might still have, hope in Chase, and protecting other people is a wonderful gift, for real. Thank you, Rachel.
Thank you. Have a good holiday.
You as well. Happy holidays, hon.
Ha 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 ha!